Well, he still rides, but he loves the game. It's his hobby, and he knows the game really well. He used to play it all the time. So,
when Anisha Rosnah Isa Charlie married Prince Mateen of Brunei, the world watched in awe. Their union seemed like a modern-day fairy tale, a perfect blend of tradition and contemporary allure. Anisha, a successful entrepreneur with a multicultural background, and Prince Mateen, the charming and humble heir to Brunei's throne, seemed to be the ideal couple. For many, their marriage was a symbol of how love could transcend borders, cultures, and expectations. The royal wedding was a grand spectacle, with celebrations spanning 10 days in Bandar Seri Begawan, Brunei's capital. The festivities were an extravagant fusion of ancient traditions and modern luxury, setting a new standard for royal weddings. However, what seemed like the perfect beginning quickly turned into a nightmare for Anisha. The pressure of living up to Brunei's royal standards, coupled with the intense scrutiny of her past, cast a long shadow over her life as a princess. What started as a dream life began to unravel as Anisha found herself at the center of a fierce public controversy that threatened to tear apart the carefully constructed image of the royal family. The controversy begins, old photos surface. It didn't take long for Anisha's past to be exposed, and the ensuing backlash was swift and harsh. The photos, which had been taken during her younger years, depicted a very different Anisha than the poised, elegant royal figure people had come to know. These images, some taken during her time in the UK and others from her social life in Brunei, shocked the conservative nation. For many, the photos represented a stark contrast to the reserved and modest lifestyle that was expected of someone about to join Brunei's royal family. The photos showed Anisha in various social settings, often dressed in revealing outfits that many in Brunei viewed as inappropriate. There were pictures of her at parties, wearing bikinis, socializing with men, and even engaging in activities that clashed with the values upheld by Brunei's predominantly Muslim society. For a nation that holds modesty and family honor in the highest regard, these photos were seen as a direct challenge to the cultural and religious principles that had guided the country for centuries. Cultural clash. Anisha's background and Western influence. Anisha's mixed heritage, half Croatian and half Bruneian, further fueled the controversy. Growing up in different countries, Anisha was exposed to more liberal values than those embraced by Brunei's conservative society. She had spent time studying abroad in the UK, where Western freedoms, including socializing, drinking, and dressing casually, were the norm. This lifestyle was very different from the more restrained and conservative way of life in Brunei. For some in Brunei, Anisha's lifestyle was seen as a rejection of the country's traditions. The royal family was expected to be a beacon of Brunei's values, and Anisha's free-spirited past seemed to conflict with that image. To many, her background, shaped by Western ideals, was incongruent with the modesty and traditionalism that were key to Brunei's identity. This disconnect between Anisha's past and the royal family's image created a rift, with many questioning whether she could truly embody the role of a royal consort. Social media firestorm, the fallout from the photos. As the photos spread across social media, the public reaction was swift and unforgiving. The internet became a battleground for those who supported Anisha and those who condemned her. Many Bruneians were deeply offended by the images, with some claiming that Anisha's past was an embarrassment to the royal family and a direct contradiction to the values of the nation. Memes, edited photos, and insults flooded social media platforms, with many questioning her suitability as Prince Mateen's wife. The negative comments ranged from dismissive remarks about her character to outright attacks on her integrity. The social media firestorm not only cast a shadow over Anisha's reputation, but also placed immense pressure on Prince Mateen, who was now caught between defending his wife and maintaining the dignity of the royal family. For Anisha, the onslaught of criticism was overwhelming. What had started as a new chapter in her life had quickly turned into an emotional and public battle. Comparisons to other royals, the pressure of perfection. Adding to the pressure was the comparison between Anisha and other royals, particularly Raja Al Saif, the crown princess of Jordan. Raja was seen as the epitome of elegance, modesty, and tradition, embodying everything that Brunei's royal family was expected to represent. In contrast, Anisha's more modern and open-minded lifestyle seemed at odds with the expectations placed upon her. This comparison, though seemingly innocent, only heightened the cultural divide between Anisha and the people of Brunei. While Raja Al Saif had her own fair share of controversies, including the resurfacing of photos from her teenage years, her image was largely untarnished by the kind of harsh backlash Anisha faced. For Anisha, this made the situation even more difficult, as she was not only being judged on her own merits, but was also being held to an impossible standard set by her peers in other royal families. Prince Mateen's struggles, balancing love and duty. As the controversy continued to unfold, Prince Mateen, often regarded for his humility and grounded nature, found himself thrust into the spotlight. Prince Mateen had always been a beloved figure, admired for his charm, athleticism, and down-to-earth persona. His relationship with Anisha, a woman who was not only beautiful but also intellectually and emotionally in tune with him, had captured the public's attention. However, the growing criticism of his wife began to cast a shadow over his reputation as well. For Prince Mateen, the situation was heartbreaking. He had always been known for his calm demeanor and commitment to his family and country. Yet seeing Anisha, the woman he loved, under relentless attack was something he could not ignore. As the controversy escalated, Prince Mateen found himself torn between his love for Anisha and his responsibilities as a member of the royal family. The criticism of Anisha was not just an attack on her, it was an attack on him and his role in the monarchy. The impact of the backlash, Anisha's emotional toll. Behind closed doors, the emotional toll on Anisha was immense. The woman who had once been confident, poised, and proud of her achievements had become a shell of herself. The constant media scrutiny, the relentless online attacks, and the harsh criticism from her fellow citizens had taken a toll on her mental and emotional well-being. The woman who had once dazzled in the spotlight now struggled with self-doubt and insecurity. Anisha withdrew from the public eye, avoiding social media and opting for more private moments with Prince Mateen. The emotional strain was evident in their private conversations, with Anisha often expressing her frustration at the way her past had been used against her. Despite her efforts to shield herself from the negativity, the damage had already been done. Anisha's past, which she had once seen as a normal part of her life, had now become a source of shame and public judgment. Prince Mateen's public defense, a shocking break from tradition. In an unexpected turn of events, Prince Mateen decided to break his silence and publicly defend Anisha. Known for his typically private nature, this was a significant departure from royal protocol, which often called for silence in the face of public scrutiny. However, Mateen felt that the growing backlash against Anisha could no longer go unaddressed. In a rare televised interview, Mateen spoke openly and candidly about the situation, revealing the emotional strain both he and Anisha had endured. During the interview, Mateen expressed his deep commitment to Anisha and emphasized that she was much more than her past. "She is not defined by her past," he said, "but by the woman she is today." His words were powerful and heartfelt, and they struck a chord with many of those watching. Mateen explained how society was evolving, particularly among the younger generation, who sought to balance honoring tradition with embracing modern values. He stressed the importance of compassion and understanding, highlighting how important it was to recognize that people are not defined by their past mistakes or experiences. Mateen's decision to speak out was not just about defending his wife, it was also about challenging the traditional norms that had long governed Brunei's royal family. By speaking publicly about Anisha's struggles, Mateen acknowledged that change was needed, both within the royal family and within the nation as a whole. His words were a call for understanding and empathy, urging the public to recognize that Anisha's journey was not one of shame, but one of growth and transformation. The future of Anisha and Prince Mateen, a love tested by scandal. As the weeks passed, the situation remained tense. The royal couple continued to navigate the challenges of royal life, with Anisha's past hanging over them like a shadow. While Prince Mateen's defense of his wife had garnered some support, the backlash from conservative factions in Brunei was far from over. The question remained, could Anisha truly find acceptance in the royal family? And would the people of Brunei ever forgive her for her past? For Anisha, the road ahead was uncertain. The support of her husband, coupled with her own inner strength, would likely be her greatest allies in the coming months. But whether she could ever fully integrate into the royal family and be accepted by the public was a question that loomed large. For Prince Mateen, the pressure was equally great. His reputation, his role within the royal family, and his future as the future leader of Brunei were all at stake. His love for Anisha was undeniable. But could their relationship withstand the weight of public opinion? As the royal couple continues their journey together, one thing remains clear. Their love will be tested in ways they never anticipated. The world will be watching, waiting to see whether their bond can survive the intense scrutiny and public judgment that have followed them every step of the way. The public backlash, a cultural divide. The controversy surrounding Anisha began when old photos resurfaced on social media, showing her in less modest attire and engaging in activities considered inappropriate by Brunei's conservative standards. Anisha, who had lived a more liberated lifestyle in the West, was now faced with a harsh public judgment as she prepared to step into her new role as a royal consort. Many in Brunei were shocked to see images of Anisha in revealing clothes, at parties, or in the company of men, behaviors that were considered taboo in the Muslim-majority nation. These images sparked a fierce backlash. Critics saw these photos not just as a personal matter, but as a direct challenge to the very fabric of Brunei's cultural and religious values. Anisha's past became a symbol of rebellion for some, while for others it was a reminder of how difficult it could be to reconcile personal identity with royal expectations. Anisha's critics were vocal, but so were her supporters. Some saw her background as a reflection of a modern woman trying to balance her individual freedom with the constraints of royal life. For many, Anisha was a symbol of a changing world, a world that valued both tradition and progress. But the divide was stark. Could Anisha truly embody the values of the royal family, or was she forever marked by her past? Prince Mateen's public defense, a move toward progress. In an unexpected and groundbreaking move, Prince Mateen chose to publicly defend his wife. Known for his typically private nature, this was a dramatic shift in how the royal family dealt with public controversies. In a rare televised interview, Mateen spoke candidly about the situation, addressing the criticism head-on. His decision to speak out was not just a defense of Anisha, but a statement about his values and vision for the future of the monarchy. Mateen's defense of Anisha was a powerful moment in the midst of the controversy. He expressed his unwavering support for his wife, emphasizing that Anisha was much more than her past. "She is not defined by her past," Mateen said, his voice steady with conviction. "She is my partner, my equal, and someone who has embraced her role with dignity and courage." This was a bold statement, not only about his love for Anisha, but also about his belief in the importance of personal growth and the power of second chances. His words resonated with many who had been following the royal couple's journey. For some, Mateen's defense was a refreshing change from the typical silence of royal families in the face of scandal. It was a move that signaled progress, a shift in thinking that acknowledged the need for royals to evolve with the times. By defending Anisha publicly, Mateen was challenging the traditional norms that had long governed the royal family, advocating for a more inclusive, compassionate, and modern monarchy. The mixed reactions, criticism and praise. Mateen's decision to defend Anisha, however, was met with mixed reactions. While many praised his courage and leadership, seeing it as a necessary step toward modernizing the monarchy, there were others who questioned the sincerity of Anisha's transformation. Critics argued that Anisha's past, her lifestyle choices, her public image, was incompatible with the role she was expected to play as a royal consort. Some even suggested that the couple was using public sympathy to divert attention from more pressing issues, such as the rigid expectations placed on women in Brunei. This divide was a clear reflection of the complexity of the situation. On one hand, there were those who supported Mateen's defense, recognizing that change was necessary in a world where public opinion and social values were rapidly evolving. On the other hand, there were those who saw Anisha's past as an insurmountable obstacle, one that could never be overcome. The debate about her role in the royal family was not just about Anisha, but about the future of the monarchy itself, a monarchy that had to balance tradition with the realities of the modern world. Anisha's role in the royal family, a commitment to change. Through all the controversy, Anisha remained steadfast in her commitment to her role as princess consort. While her past was often brought up in public discussions, she continued to show her dedication to the royal family and to Brunei's values. Over time, she began to reshape her public image, demonstrating her deep respect for her culture and her role as a royal. Anisha's ability to adapt to the demands of her new life was evident in her actions. She became more involved in charity work, particularly initiatives focused on empowering women, supporting education, and advocating for wildlife conservation. Her passion for fashion also played a significant role in her efforts to connect with the public. As a fashion entrepreneur, Anisha used her platform to showcase Brunei's rich cultural heritage, incorporating traditional Bruneian textiles into her international wardrobe. This was a deliberate move to bridge the gap between her modern sensibilities and the cultural pride of her nation. By doing so, she began to gain the respect of a public that had once been skeptical of her place in the royal family. Anisha and Mateen, a partnership built on loyalty and respect. Despite the challenges they faced, the bond between Anisha and Prince Mateen only grew stronger. Their relationship, which was often scrutinized by the media, was built on mutual respect, trust, and a deep sense of loyalty. From the very beginning, Anisha had been a constant source of support for Mateen. Whether he was navigating the complexities of royal duties or dealing with public controversies, Anisha stood by his side. Her loyalty was not just about being there during the good times, but about facing the challenges of royal life together with grace and determination. For Mateen, Anisha's loyalty was a cornerstone of their relationship. He admired her strength, her resilience, and her unwavering support. Her loyalty gave him the stability he needed to carry out his royal duties, knowing that no matter what happened, Anisha would always be there for him. This sense of mutual support and trust was something that Mateen valued deeply, as it allowed him to navigate the pressures of royal life with confidence. Anisha's intelligence and vision for the future. Beyond her loyalty, Anisha's intelligence and forward-thinking approach had a profound impact on Prince Mateen. Anisha was not content with simply fulfilling the ceremonial duties of a royal consort. She was a woman of ideas, ambition, and vision. She actively contributed to important discussions on matters such as economic development and cultural preservation, areas where she was particularly passionate. Mateen often praised Anisha for her ability to strike a balance between tradition and innovation. He believed that this trait was crucial for the future of their monarchy. Anisha's intellectual partnership with Mateen was one of the things that strengthened their bond. Together, they were not only navigating royal responsibilities, but also working toward a shared vision of a modern, progressive Brunei. Shared passions, philanthropy, and adventure. One of the most defining aspects of Anisha and Mateen's relationship was their shared passion for philanthropy. Both were deeply committed to giving back to society, and together, they made a significant impact through joint initiatives. Whether it was advocating for wildlife conservation, supporting education, or empowering women, Anisha and Mateen worked side by side to make a positive difference in the world. Their mutual commitment to helping others reinforced their bond and allowed them to connect with people from all walks of life. In addition to their philanthropic efforts, Anisha and Mateen shared a love for adventure. They enjoyed participating in activities like horseback riding, hiking, and even skydiving. These adventures provided them with a chance to reconnect and create cherished memories away from the public spotlight. Their love for exploration also took them across the globe, where they immersed themselves in different cultures, deepening their bond even more. Anisha's transformation from public scrutiny to princess consort. Anisha's transformation from a private citizen to a beloved princess consort was not an easy journey. It required her to navigate the complexities of royal life while remaining true to her values. Despite the public scrutiny and the challenges she faced, Anisha embraced her role with dignity and grace. She became more involved in public life, attending royal events, supporting charitable causes, and representing Brunei on the international stage. Her appearance at Brunei's 40th National Day celebration in February 2024 marked a significant moment in her journey, symbolizing her official introduction to the public as a member of the royal family. Her involvement in charity work, particularly with the Social Kitchen Project and her diplomatic trips to Thailand and Malaysia, further demonstrated her commitment to her royal duties. Through it all, Anisha showed the world that she was more than just a figurehead. She was an active participant in the royal family's mission to modernize and serve the people of Brunei.